Test. Good afternoon. The Committee on Finance and Taxation, General Government Operations and Youth Development now convenes this hearing. In accordance with the Open Government Law, public notices for today's proceedings were sent to the media on December 15, 2016, and again on December 20, 2016. For the record, today is Thursday, December 22nd, 2016. The time is now 1:33 in the afternoon. The committee will hear and accept testimony, both oral and written, on the following items. The first item on the agenda, we'll go ahead and amend what we published. And the first item that we're going to hear for the benefit of those who have other commitments this afternoon is Bill number 408-33, COR, introduced by Senator B. Anthony Ada, an act to repeal and reenact Section 26609, Chapter 26 of Title 11, Guam Code, annotated relative to the regulation and taxation of tobacco products. We also have Bill number 332-33, introduced by myself and co-sponsored by Senator James Espadon, an act to add a new subsection 26203.2 to Article 2, Chapter 26, Title 11, Guam Code, annotated relative to raising the business privilege tax threshold exemption by prorated amounts at a rate of $50,000 for each $1 gross minimum wage increase above $8.25 per hour. And we have Bill number 392-33, introduced by Senator Frank B. Uggan Jr., an act to add subsection 4129 to Chapter 4 of Article 1, Title 4, Guam Code, annotated relative to employee leave for parental participation in the early childhood intervention programs for non-school-aged children. This act shall be cited as the Early Childhood Intervention Leave Act of 2016. We also have a handful of nominations on the agenda. The first is for RUDOLPHO S. BORJA as a member for the Department of Parks and Recreation Board of Commissioners for a term of 4 years. Mr. DANILO RAPADAS as a member of the Bank Executive Officer Representative on the Banking and Insurance Board for a term of 6 years. And Alice CRUZ, who shall be serving as the Classified Department of Revenue and Taxation employee position from the Real Estate Licensing Division on the Real Estate Commission for a term of 4 years. I'd like to take a moment to acknowledge my colleagues present. To my immediate left is the Vice Chair of the Committee, Senator Mary Torres. To her immediate left is Senator Tony Ada. To my immediate right is Senator James Espadon. To his immediate right, Senator Tom Ada. And to his immediate right is Vice Speaker Benjamin CRUZ. Thank you, colleagues, for joining me this afternoon. We'll go ahead and move on to the first item on our agenda, which will be Bill number 332-33. I'm sorry, Bill number 408-33. And I'll go ahead and yield the floor to Senator Tony Ada for an opening statement on the measure.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, you know, many cities and states in the United States have implemented policies that either restrict multi-pack discounts for tax cigarettes regardless of whether they are sold or given part of a promotion. However, most jurisdictions do not tax outbound travelers or restrict multi-pack discounts for outbound travelers. And what Bill 408-33 does is it provides that exemption to multi-pack cigarette discounts as prohibited by Public Law 32-200. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Senator Tony Ada. For Bill number 408-33, we do have a number of individuals who signed up to provide both oral and written testimony on the measure. We have 4 individuals who signed up not in favor of the measure and 1 individual who signed up in favor of the measure. I'll go ahead and hear the testimony of those who are not in favor first, and we will conclude with the testimony of the individual who is in favor. So those not in favor, as indicated in the sign-in sheet, I have signed up Ms. Kathy Castro. Please join us. Dr. Annette David, on behalf of Ms. Castro. And I see here also ACS Can, also on behalf of, so you'll be providing testimony on behalf of yourself and 2 other individuals, or one organization and 1 other individual. And then I have Mr. Ken Youngware, who's also signed to provide testimony. Please join us. So Ms. Castro, seeing that you're wearing 3 hats today, I'll go ahead and yield the floor to you to go ahead and provide your testimony on Bill 408.
Thank you, Senator. Good afternoon, Senators Nicolas, Senator Torres, Senator Ada, Senator Espadon, and Vice Speaker B.J. CRUZ. My name is Kathy Rivera Castro, and I'm a resident of Mongmong. I'm here to testify in opposition of Bill number 408-33. As you know, I've been very vocal on issues surrounding tobacco control and other issues that impact the health of our community. This includes non-communicable diseases, NCDs such as cancer, heart disease, diabetes, lung disease, and the like. NCDs are preventable diseases, and if we can work alongside one another to address and minimize the risk of our people contracting NCDs, then the end result will not only improve the quality of life for that individual, but for the entire island community. In 2012, the Non-Communicable Disease Consortium was established to address the growing concerns of NCDs on Guam. And please allow me to read their vision. We envision an island working collectively towards chronic disease-free Guam by empowering the community to be a healthy and active. Their mission, our NCD consortium exists to lead, collaborate with, and empower individual families and communities in working towards a non-communicable disease-free Guam. And their focus being practical, cost-effective, and evidence-based interventions, best buys to achieve reduction in NCD risk factors, prevalence, and NCD mortality and morbidity. The NCD Consortium has worked tirelessly over the years to lower the NCD rates on Guam. The efforts of this consortium are seen not only important, but critical for our community, that they are funded through an appropriation given to the Department of Public Health and Social Services for the Healthy Futures Fund to enable them to carry out their vision, fulfill their mission, and keep their focus. When the appropriation was allotted, it is acknowledged that the importance of this consortium and the nature of their work. It shows that our lawmakers saw the need to assist, support, and collaborate with the consortium to minimize the pain and suffering of our people. Tobacco remains the #1 preventable cause of cancer in Guam. Making cigarettes more accessible, and that is what this bill proposes to do, goes directly against the efforts of the NCD Consortium and its efforts to reduce the smoking rates. While smoking rates have dropped over the last few years as a result of tobacco control legislation, Guam's smoking rate of 29.3% is significantly higher than the national average of 18.1%. The source was the 2014 BORJA and ranks #1 in the nation in smoking. Guam's smoking rate is directly contributed to the incident of cancer and mortality caused by cancer on Guam. Indeed, of the top 5 cancers, the overall incident of cancer showing lung and bronchial rate, #2 on Guam, #2 for men, and #3 for women. And the overall mortality of cancer shows lung and bronchial cancer rating #1 on Guam, #1 for men, and #1 for women. This bill will allow departing passengers to purchase cigarettes through multi-pack discounts without charge or for less than the listed or non-discounted price, and provided an incentive to consumers to purchase tobacco products notwithstanding the increase in the tobacco tax. While some may argue that the departing passengers will not be utilizing the tobacco product while on island, as it is specifically for departing passengers, offering a tax exempt to the airport creates a situation where tax evasion can occur. For example, Guam residents that are taking temporary trips can purchase tobacco products at the airport and return with the tobacco product on hand at a discounted rate and not subject to tax. This tax loophole is a lose-lose for the government because people will continue to use tobacco products and pay lower taxes but continue to have costly, high health problems. At the federal level, we have seen an equivalent example of this bill in the case of your roll your own tobacco, which was taxed at a much higher rate than pipe tobacco. Even though the two products can be used interchangeably, manufacturers started marketing roll your own tobacco as pipe tobacco, and consumers brought the lower tax pipe tobacco instead of the higher tax roll your own tobacco. The result was that as much as $1.1 billion lower than it could have been if there had been a similar tax increase on all tobacco products. It would not be unreasonable to assume that passing this legislation would have a similar effect, allowing Lottie duty-free to gain an unfair competitive advantage against other local businesses on island, and also deprive Guam of the much-needed tax revenue. So I appeal to each of you as elected leaders that are entrusted with the privilege of enacting legislation for the protection and betterment of our island to seriously consider the negative impact of this bill that it would have on our island, our children, and our future. Let us show our visitors that we are appreciative of their interest in Guam by wanting to visit her, and that too we have the same interest in them by wanting not to promote unhealthy lifestyles. I urge you to demonstrate your undivided and unequivocal support. I alone cannot do this. Our coalition as a whole cannot do this. But with your support, we will take steps to ensure that we are doing our fiduciary responsibility of protecting our home from the negative effects of tobacco and its related products. Thank you once again for allowing me the opportunity to voice my thoughts and concerns of this issue, as well as my opposition to this bill. In closing, from my family to yours, I pray that your holidays be blessed with peace, joy, and love, and I send you and yours our heartfelt wishes with joy that never ends and memories to cherish. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Castro. Just to clarify, this was your
my personal
testimony. Also, in opposition to Bill 408-33, we have signed up Mr. Ron Laguatnia and Mr. Sebastian Pelevani. I think that this might be it. Could you please join us? Would you be providing oral testimony today? Oral? Yeah, you can join us here today. Yes, thank you. Ms. Castro, the committee has received the written testimonies for the Guam Cancer Action Network and Dr. David. Did any of them expressly request that you read it into the record?
Yes, I did.
All right, you may proceed.
Thank you. My next testimony that I'll be reading will be on behalf of Mr. Corey Chong, the Government Relations Director for the American Cancer Society Cancer Action Network. Addressed to the 33rd Guam Legislature, Senator Nicolas, Chair, Senator Mary Torres, Vice Chair, Committee on Finance and Taxation, General Governmental Operations, and Youth Development. Opposition to Bill number 408-33, an act to repeal and reenact Section 26609, Chapter 26 of Title 11, Guam Code annotated relative to the regulation and taxation of tobacco products. Chair Nicolas and Vice Chair Torres and members of the Committee on Finance and Taxation, General Governmental Operations, and Youth Development. The American Cancer Society Cancer Action Network opposes Bill number 408-33, which provides an exemption to restrictions on certain tobacco promotional and discount marketing tactics. The American Cancer Society Cancer Action Network, ACS-CAN, is the nation's leading cancer advocacy organization. ACS-CAN works with federal, state, and local government bodies to support evidence-based policy and legislative solutions designed to eliminate cancer as a major health problem. Tobacco discounts and promotional activities act as an incentive for a person to purchase and use more tobacco products. This bill seeks to create an exemption for the AB Wampat International Airport from restrictions already placed since 2014. We oppose this measure because it is contrary to the strong public policy to reduce the use of tobacco and thus save more lives from tobacco-related diseases, chronic illness, and death. We urge this committee to consider comprehensive tobacco control policies instead of picking and choosing who is protected and who isn't, and providing advantages to some businesses to continue using these tactics for their benefit and to the health detriment of those who travel to and from Guam. Thank you for the opportunity to provide testimony on this important matter. Mr. Corey Chung.
And that testimony was on behalf of the American Cancer Society Cancer Action Network.
That's correct.
And now you're presenting the testimony on behalf of Dr. David.
Yes. Dr. David was on a plane at noon today, so she had asked me if I would read her testimony. 22nd December 2016, the Honorable Senator Michael F. Q. Nicolas, 33rd Guam Legislature, Hagatnya, Guam, regarding Bill 403, an act to repeal and reenact Section 26609, Chapter 26 of Title 11, Guam Code annotated relative to the regulation and taxation of tobacco products. Dear Senator Nicolas, buenas and half a day. I'm writing to express my opposition to Bill 408-33. An act to repeal and reenact Section 26609, Chapter 26 of Title 11, Guam Code annotated, relative to the regulation and taxation of tobacco products. As chair of the Guam State Epidemiological Outcome Work Groups,